Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say, Call Allah Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rechak Kodash, that belongs to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us this truth and rule well. And Shalom to the hopeful elect, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatham. It's the brother Kazah from the Minneville 12 West Coast, coming back at it again with another lesson. All right, and the title of this lesson is going to be China and Iran rubbing elbows. All right, and what gave me the spirit to title it that is because, as you can see, you got the two foreign ministers of each country, literally rubbing elbows because they can't, come to a complete, they can't create, full contact because of, the whole C-19, folly. But anyways, all right, this is prophetic because it shows that they're teaming up against the daughter of Babylon, man. Or they're teaming up against Babal. All right, that's why it says in the latter part of the title, challenging the U.S. pressure, and the reason why is because you have the U.S. putting a lot of sanctions on China and Iran. Okay, especially Iran, because Iran wants to develop their nuclear capabilities. All right, and the U.S. doesn't want them to do that. And in China as well, I'm not too well versed as to why, the U.S. and China are going into conflict, but it's pretty serious because, China is really preparing to go to war with the U.S. All right, that's why the U.S. is mobilizing troops in Australia. Okay, you got Marines in Australia, all manner of troops, and Navy is being mobilized towards that front. All right, because they're getting ready to go to war. And that's World War III being made manifest. That's the weak saying they're strong. All right, because and ultimately, that's the scripture I'm gonna bring out. And I'm not gonna make this a super long lesson. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna bring out a precept. The key precept. Which is written in the book of Obadiah, where it says they that were Confederate, the men of that Confederacy, will basically betray them, and them is talking about the Edomites, really, the U.S., man, Babal, all right, which really, and it's going to be the nation of Edom in its entirety, all right, so we're going to bring out, because I already read the article, I'm just going to bring out the key points, all right, because there's really a lot of miscellaneous things that are written on it. All right, but it reads from the first paragraph on down. It reads, foreign ministers Javad Zarif and Wang Yi signed on Saturday with both sides bill as a strategic partnership that will last for 25 years. And the reason why this is strategic is because they have a common enemy, all right, which is the U.S. And it reads, the deal, which was 5 years in the making, was signed by Tehran. All right, now, one thing that you do see in the past, you know what I'm saying, that I got from this in the past, China and Iran, it was like whatever's, man. China didn't really need Iran, and Iran, being under sanctions and all that, they have their own little fight or whatever. They're facing their own situation, and I believe the two nations went to war in the past, if I'm not mistaken. I stand corrected if that's false. I'm not going to go into what I don't know. All right, but now that the U.S. is putting the squeeze, you know what I'm saying, on China, now all of a sudden it wants to act brand new and start, to start negotiations with Iran. And Iran is the biblical Elamites, all right, the biblical Elamites, the Persians, okay, and then you have the so-called Chinese, they're the Moabites according to the Bible, all right, and then you have Gog and Magog, which is modern day Russia, which of course are Edomites. They're against the U.S. They're against Babylon. So they're going to, be in a mix of this as well. All right, they're going to be in the mix, okay? Because these are countries that hate, Babylon, man. All right, so it reads, the deal, which was 5 years in the making, was signed in Tehran. Details about the agreement weren't immediately published, but a draft of the agreement circulated last year included Chinese investments in projects ranging from nuclear energy, ports, railroads, and other infrastructure to transfer of military technology and investing in Iran's oil and gas industry. All right. And in return for investments, China would receive steady supplies of Iranian oil. All right. Iran semi-official Tasnim news agency said Saturday, adding that the two countries also agreed to establish an Iranian and Chinese bank. Such a bank could help Tehran evade U.S. sanctions that have effectively barred it from global ranking systems. So what they did is they're signing they have basically signed off on a strategic agreement. All right, as it is written in the first, the first paragraph, strategic partnership. All right, everything that the U.S. is doing, all right, to try to what's the word it's a word for it, try to impede them, putting the squeeze on them. You know what I'm saying? They basically just teamed up and countered that. All right. So you best believe, this thing, these nations are starting to flip on these Edomites, man. All right. They're starting to flip on the so-called white man. All right. Because the white man is ruling in wickedness, man. White man's over here telling, you know what I'm saying, these nations what to do and what not to do, and they're getting sick and tired of that. Now, when we're in our rulership, yeah, we're gonna have these nations in subjugation, but they won't be able to do anything about it. All right, especially for the first 1,000 years, where they're gonna be in hardcore slavery. All right, but we're still gonna be ruling in righteousness, and even though they're gonna be under our subjugation after their 1,000 years of slavery is done, all right, they're gonna return to their lands and they're gonna live righteously in their lands. All right. And guess what? They're going to be happy. All right. Because we're going to be ruling in righteousness. All right. It won't be no reason for, nations to be going to war. You know what I'm saying, Salakia? You know what I'm saying? Because everything is going to be set in its rightful order. All right. So let's get into the scriptures. All right. So we're going to go to the book of Obadiah, chapter 1. All right. And let me see right quick. Let me see. Let's start at verse 5. All right, so the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? All right, because these Edomites, man, they got us, the children of Israel, under them, man. All right, they got us under their rulership. We're still in captivity. All right, and when they took us over, they took everything. They completely destroyed Jerusalem. They sacked our people. They put our people in captivity. They had us build their kingdom up. All right, and a lot of their power, all right, it really stems from putting our people in captivity, man. That free labor, that free workforce, and also too, our oppression. How they got us at the bottom, and we're their we're basically Babylon's back force. I mean, it's like a backbone. All right. And on top of that, they went and they they put all these Esau, with the American military, he got it all over the world, man. He got bases set up in different parts, in different countries all over the world, man. So that's these devils getting really, really greedy. Not just the Americans, really these Rothschilds. All right, because they got their agendas, and all this. These devils is getting mad greedy. And these nations are not going to stand for that, man. These nations want to rule their own kingdom the way they want to rule their kingdom. All right, and this devil's, over here trying to intervene in that. So it reads, if grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? All right, because this devil wants complete new world order, world domination. This devil wants all the other nations to be under them. All right, because like it's written in the book of Isaiah 14, they want to be as the Most High. All right, so it reads, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All right, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Okay, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. All right, and that's what happened. All right, because pursuant to the book of Psalms, chapter 83, yeah, the nations teamed up. They had a confederacy, the elites of each nation. They got a confederacy going on against us. All right, but now all that's coming to an end. And that confederacy, is dealing with, the Bilderberg group, the UN councils, all right, United Nations, all right, and who are they united against? Our people, because in these councils, all right, they hold, the top elite ranking members of these councils. They hold meetings, on how to keep us perpetually destroyed, all right, and through the Spirit, I might do another video tonight dealing with that, man. All right, with this new wickedness that has came out and has left a stain on our people. You know what I'm saying? And brothers, should probably know what it is. All right, brothers is doing sit downs on it. But that's what these people do. That's the confederacy that they have against us. All right, to keep us at the bottom, to keep us from going back to our power and who we are. All right, that's what they do. But that is not lasting. That is getting Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is putting an end to all that. All right. And it reads, and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, and there is none understanding in him. All right. There's no understanding in these devils, man. That's why they rule in wickedness, man. All right. Shall I not in that day, said Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? All right. That's what's going to happen. Okay. The Lord is destroying all that. All right. All the wise men of Edom, because, they, you got, Edomites that, have some type of wisdom, and they understand that, they can't just go around and tell the nations what to do and what not to do. It can't just go around and start putting sanctions upon the nations, the other nations, and their countries, but that's what's going on, man. World War III is being made manifest. All right. You got China and Iran, rubbing elbows, and that's what the title is going to be. So with that, I'm going to say, Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Ruach HaKodesh, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom.